What if your greatest failure wasn't the end, but the beginning of your second chance? Under the still waters of a quiet marina, a solitary diver scrubs the hull of a boat, far removed from the roaring crowds and bright lights of football stadiums. But beneath the surface, both literally and emotionally, something is about to resurface that will change everything. His name? Shane Falco. Once a star quarterback. Now just a guy scraping barnacles off other people's dreams. Until today. As Falco works below the waterline, something catches his eye, a glint of metal buried in the murky silt. He swims closer. It's a football trophy, his name etched into the side, a relic from a life long buried. Memories come crashing back. Cheers, heartbreak, that one fateful game. Clutching the trophy to his chest, Falco lets out a scream of joy that bubbles up through the sea, muffled but unmistakably alive. Meanwhile, across town, chaos rules the Washington Sentinels Stadium. The Professional Football League is in crisis. A full-blown player strike has emptied locker rooms and halted momentum. Commentators John Madden and Pat Summerall narrate the madness unfolding as the team's star quarterback Eddie Martell makes a selfish move, sliding to avoid injury rather than pushing for the win. The crowd erupts in fury. His teammates? Even worse. Hours later, the strike becomes official, and team owner Edward O'Neill makes a desperate call to someone he once pushed away, Coach Jimmy McGinty, the man who doesn't play politics, doesn't follow the rules, and doesn't take crap from spoiled athletes. 3 wins, O'Neill says. Just get me 3 wins. McGinty doesn't hesitate. He agrees, but on one condition: complete control. No interference, no compromises. It's his team now. The next day, McGinty starts building his roster from scratch. Not from NFL drafts or training camps, but from forgotten names and broken dreams. First up, Daniel Bateman, SWAT officer, former walk-on linebacker at Michigan State. Disciplined, fearless, and a little unstable. Especially around anything red. Literally. Red sets him off like a bull in a china shop. Then there's Clifford Franklin, so fast he could outrun a hurricane. But there's a catch. He can't actually catch the ball. Still, McGinty sees potential. Next comes the Jackson twins, Andre and Jamal. Massive, synchronized bodyguards with attitude and muscle to spare. They don't know the playbook, but they know how to protect their quarterback. And that's all McGinty cares about. From across the pond enters Nigel Gruff, a.k.a. The Leg. A Welsh soccer player turned kicker with a cannon for a foot and a love for gambling. He's a wild card, but he might just be their secret weapon. Finally, McGinty approaches the one man who swore he'd never play again, Shane Falco. Washed up, humiliated, scarred by the past. But McGinty doesn't care. Pain fades, he tells Falco. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever. Falco hesitates, but the fire in his eyes says what his words won't. He's not done yet. As the new recruits arrive, the fans erupt, not in cheers, but in outrage. These aren't real players. They're replacements, jokes, losers. But McGinty doesn't flinch. He knows what he's building. Even the cheerleading squad gets a revamp, led by Annabelle Farrell, a bar-owning, no-nonsense head cheerleader with zero patience for egos. Desperate for volunteers, she recruits from an unlikely pool, exotic dancers. Their routines may be unorthodox, but they bring energy and fearlessness that electrify the sidelines. On the field, training begins, and it's chaos. Bateman tackles everything in red. Clifford drops every pass. Nigel chain smokes between kicks. And yet, something starts to click. Falco, at first reluctant, begins to lead. Quietly, confidently. And it doesn't go unnoticed, especially by Annabelle. But trouble brews. Martell and his cronies haven't forgotten Falco's return, and they make it personal, flipping his car in the stadium lot as a message. This time, Falco doesn't fight back, but someone else does. Andre and Jamal confront Martell, guns drawn, tempers flaring. A warning is delivered. Mess with Falco again, and it won't be your car next time. Game 1. The stadium is half full, the boos are loud, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The Sentinels struggle early. Mistakes, penalties, pain. Falco takes a brutal hit, and the team falters. With seconds left, down by 4, McGinty calls a pass play. But Falco panics. He audibles to a run. A safe move, a mistake. They lose. After the game, McGinty confronts Falco. "Were you scared?" he asks. Falco denies it, but the truth lingers in the silence. The loss stings, but the night that follows changes everything. At a local bar, the replacement players are ambushed by Martel and his smug teammates. A red shirt sets Bateman off, and a brawl erupts. Tables fly, bottles smash, sirens wail. But in jail, something incredible happens. They sing, together, off-key, offbeat, and absolutely united. McGinty bails them out, disappointed but impressed. "You fought for each other," he says. "That's the start of a team." In training, Falco begins to shine. Clifford gets glue on his gloves, finally catching a pass. The team grows stronger, tighter. Even Annabelle and Falco share tender moments, slowly lowering their emotional walls. Next game? A miracle. Final seconds. Tied game. Nigel lines up for a 65-yard field goal. Boom. Straight through the uprights. Victory. The crowd erupts. The cheerleaders dance like it's the Super Bowl. The replacements? They believe. But just as the dream becomes real, it's ripped away. The team owner reinstates Eddie Martel for the final game. Falco is benched. McGinty protests, but politics win out. Falco walks away, gracefully, quietly, crushed. With Martel back under center, the Sentinels fall apart. No rhythm, no heart. The halftime score, 17-0. During a live interview, McGinty delivers a now iconic line. "What this team needs is miles and miles of heart." Falco hears it, and he returns. The crowd roars. The team lights up. And Annabelle? She sees Falco run onto the field, and she knows this is the man she's been waiting for. The comeback begins. 2 touchdowns, 1 final drive. But Nigel freezes, crippled by his gambling debt and fear of failure. So Falco calls the play himself. "I want the ball," he says. Winners always do. Snap, drop back, pass, touchdown, pandemonium. The Sentinels win, against all odds, and the replacements, those forgotten nobodies, become legends. As the dust settles, Coach McGinty narrates the epilogue. There were no press conferences, no Gatorade commercials, but for one brief, shining moment, they were heroes. And for Shane Falco, he didn't just reclaim his career, he reclaimed himself. Because sometimes, greatness doesn't come from talent, it comes from heart.